The emotional toll proved even heavier than the financial losses. Powell described those years as the hardest period of his life since losing his father. He worried about what his children would think when they saw the headlines. Every trip outside brought suspicious looks from strangers. Online comments declared him guilty before any court had reached a conclusion. Whether people believed the accusations or not, the whispers followed him everywhere. And after years of uncertainty, the legal battle finally reached its conclusion. But did the ending restore everything he had lost? In 2017, the civil case was dismissed after the court found insufficient evidence to support the claims. The following year, Powell's own counterclaims were also dismissed, bringing the entire legal dispute to a close. He was never convicted of a crime. Yet the conclusion revealed a painful reality. While the legal system had finished with the case, Hollywood had largely moved on without him. His reputation had already suffered lasting damage, and many of the opportunities that disappeared during those years never returned. That became the true meaning behind the phrase, final sentence. Powell has often argued that another challenge shaped his career long before the legal controversy ever began. He spoke openly about experiencing discrimination because of his darker skin tone. According to Powell, there were times when decision-makers told him he was too dark for certain roles or even claimed his appearance might scare audiences. Instead of judging him by his talent, some executives focused on his complexion. It was a painful reminder that even accomplished actors could face barriers beyond their control. But the discrimination didn't end there. Hollywood frequently cast Powell as intimidating characters, villains, or criminals, while overlooking him for softer or more romantic roles. The very qualities that made him believable in tough roles often became excuses to limit his opportunities elsewhere. Powell believed these industry habits prevented many talented darker-skinned actors from reaching their full potential. He also criticized public attacks within the entertainment community itself, arguing that black artists should support rather than undermine one another in mainstream media. Those beliefs reflected his determination to push back against a system he felt was unfair. But while he fought professional battles, his personal life was also falling apart. Growing up without stability left lasting scars. Powell later admitted that Hollywood's success came with sacrifices he deeply regretted. His marriage eventually ended in divorce, costing him both emotionally and financially. He has said the split ultimately cost him around $5 million. More painful than the money, however, was his realization that his demanding career kept him away from his children during critical years of their lives. He openly admitted that although he provided financially, he simply wasn't present enough as a father. That honesty revealed a side of Powell few fans ever saw. As if those struggles weren't enough, Powell also acknowledged falling into destructive habits. He admitted spending heavily on gambling, sometimes losing between $30,000 and $50,000 each year in casinos. He also spoke about being surrounded by people interested more in his success than in genuine friendship. Fast money, constant travel, shallow relationships, and poor financial decisions slowly created a cycle that became harder to escape. From the outside, he looked like a successful Hollywood veteran. Behind closed doors, he was trying to hold together a life that was beginning to unravel. Looking back, Clifton Powell's story is not simply one of fame or scandal. It is the story of a man who overcame extraordinary obstacles, built an impressive career, faced serious public accusations, endured years of legal battles, admitted painful personal mistakes, and struggled against discrimination within an industry known for judging appearances as much as talent. Although the courts never found him guilty of any crime, the damage to his career could not be completely undone. His experience serves as a reminder that in Hollywood, reputation can sometimes carry consequences long after the legal process has ended, leaving a mark that no courtroom can fully erase. Breaking news about Clifton Powell has sparked a wave of headlines, with many claiming his so-called final sentence marks the end of his Hollywood career. But is that really what happened? The truth is far more complicated. Powell's journey is one of incredible success, painful setbacks, public controversy, and personal mistakes. He rose from one of Washington, D.C.'s toughest neighborhoods to become one of Hollywood's most recognizable character actors. Yet years of scandal, legal battles, financial losses, and industry politics nearly erased everything he had built. So what was the final outcome, and why are people talking about it now? The answer may not be what you expect. For more than 3 decades, Clifton Powell quietly became one of the hardest-working actors in Hollywood. You might not always remember his name, but you almost certainly remember his face. He first caught major attention in the 1993 crime drama Menace to Society, where his powerful performance showed audiences he could bring raw emotion and realism to the screen. Soon after, millions of fans embraced him in the Friday movies, where his sharp comedic timing proved he wasn't limited to dramatic roles. That was only the beginning. But how did one actor become so unforgettable without ever becoming a traditional leading man? The answer lies in his versatility. Powell could play a dangerous criminal one moment and a caring father the next. He moved effortlessly between comedy, drama, action, and crime films. His resume kept growing with memorable appearances in Dead Presidents, Rush Hour, Next Friday, Why Do Fools Fall in Love, and many more. By 2004, he delivered another standout performance in Ray, starring alongside Jamie Foxx. His role earned him an NAACP Image Award nomination and confirmed that he belonged among Hollywood's most respected performers. Everything seemed to be falling into place. But behind the cameras, another story was quietly unfolding. Despite his professional success, Powell's life was never as smooth as it appeared. He had escaped a difficult childhood in Southeast Washington, D.C., where poverty, crime, and instability surrounded him from an early age. His mother died when he was only 4 years old, leaving him to be raised by a father battling alcoholism. Many of the children around him ended up in prison or worse, but Powell found mentors who helped steer him toward a different future. Against the odds, he made it to Hollywood. Yet even after reaching the top, would his toughest battle still be waiting for him? That battle arrived in 2011. A woman using the name Keontae Myers accused Powell of assault following an encounter in a New Orleans hotel room. According to her claims, what began as a consensual meeting later crossed the line after she allegedly asked him to stop. The accusations spread rapidly across entertainment news, with major outlets publishing dramatic headlines almost overnight. Suddenly, the actor audiences knew from family comedies and award-winning dramas was being linked to one of the most damaging allegations imaginable. But what happened once investigators looked at the evidence? From the beginning, Powell firmly denied every allegation. Through his representatives, he insisted the claims were false and vowed to defend himself. The criminal investigation eventually ended without charges because authorities found insufficient evidence. However, that didn't end the legal fight. Myers later filed a civil lawsuit seeking financial damages. Unlike criminal court, a civil case follows a different legal standard, meaning Powell still faced years of expensive litigation even though no criminal charges moved forward. But by then, another courtroom had already delivered its own judgment. That courtroom was public opinion. Long before any legal process finished, Powell's reputation had already taken a devastating hit. Hollywood studios became cautious. Producers hesitated to hire him. Acting opportunities quietly disappeared. Powell later revealed that one television role expected to last 7 or 8 episodes ended after only 2, with no explanation beyond the cloud hanging over his name. In an industry built on image, accusations alone were enough to change careers. But could he ever recover from damage that happened before any verdict was reached?